let's consider this question on partial variation. The cost of catering for guests in a party is partly constant and partly varies inversely with the numbers of guests. If the cost per guest for 40 guests is 600 naira and for 50 guests is 500 naira, find A, the connection between C and G. That is the connection between the cost of catering for the guest and the guest, and B, the cost, the value of C when G is 100. Okay, now let's interpret the question mathematically. Please kindly pay attention. The cost of catering for guests in a party is partly constant, so let's represent the cost as C. So I'm going to have C equals to, okay, let's use the constant A. C equals to A, and partly varies inversely with the numbers of guests. So C partly varies inversely with the numbers of guests. So let us represent the numbers of guests as G. Do you understand? Okay. If the cost per guest for 40 guests is 600 naira, okay, the cost per guest for 40 guests, cost per guest for 40 guests is 600 naira. Okay, now the cost per guest for 50 guests, the cost per guest for 50 guests is 500 naira, right? Okay, now we have to find the connection between C and G. Now before we can solve any question, it's very important for us to derive our relationship. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? We need to get the relationship between C and G. Now look at the first statement. C is partly constant and C is also partly varies as it partly varies inversely as G. Okay, now if you want to change this variation sign to an equals to sign, what are you going to do? You have to introduce a proportionality constant, right? Yes. So I'm going to have C equals to K all over G. You understand? Okay. Now, when you get, having gotten to this point, the next step is that you have to write a single expression for C. Okay, this is what I mean. Listen to the explanation again. Now, a part of C varies as a constant. You represent the constant as A because we don't know the constant. Are you getting it? Now, a part of G also varies inversely. A part of C also varies inversely as G. Are you getting it? So, if I want to write a single expression for C, I'm going to have C equals to A, which is the part, plus K over G. Do you understand? Okay, that this one that you see here is a single expression for C. Are you getting it? Let me use another example. Let's say you share 20 mangoes. You share 20 mangoes between two people. 20 mangoes. You share 20 mangoes between two people. Now, let's say between A and B, you share 20 mangoes between A and B. Now, you gave A 10. You gave A 10 mangoes. Then you gave B as well 10 mangoes. If you want to write a single expression for the total numbers of mangoes that you share, you're going to have 20 mangoes is equals to 10 mangoes plus what? Plus 10 mangoes, right? That's the same thing. A part of C varies as a constant, and a part of C also varies inversely as another variable G. Are you getting it? So that's why I have C equals to K over G and C equals to A. A single expression for the C is A plus KG. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? A plus K over G. Now, having done that, let's go back to the statement that we are given in the question. Before we can solve any question, you have to find the value of A, which is the constant, and K, which is the proportionality constant. Do you understand? Okay. So from what we have been given, the cost per guest for 40 guests, listen to the explanation, pay attention to the details of the question. The cost per guest for 40 guests is 600 naira. So the cost of a single guest is 600 naira. So now we are entertaining 40 guests. What is total cost? That will be what? 40 times 600, right? So please, I hope you understand what I'm doing at all. If you understand, call my attention, okay? If you don't understand, let me know. Now, the cost per guest, the cost of a single guest is 600 naira. Now we are entertaining 40 guests. That means I'm going to have 40 times 600, right? That is 24,000 naira. So the C is 24,000 naira. 24,000 naira, yes. When the guest is 40. Are you getting it? Now, for the second statement, we have the cost per guest for 50 guests is 500 naira. That is the cost of each guest when we entertained 50 guests is 500 naira. So that means that the cost will be, this is the single cost for a single guest. Now we are entertaining 50 guests. I'm going to have 50 times 500. Okay, so 50 times 500 is what? That will be 25,000. Abi? Yes, 25,000. So I'm going to have 25,000 for when the guest is what? 50. Okay, you can see how I interpreted the question. If you didn't pay attention to the details of the question, you might got the answer wrong. Okay, so don't go and use 600 naira equals to 40. Don't go. If you use that, you're not going to get the correct answer. Okay, so now we can now solve for the value of a and k. Are you getting it? We can solve for the value of a and k by using this information that we have here. Now, when the c is 24,000 naira, put naira, yes, put naira. When the c is 24,000 naira, we're going to have 24,000 equals to a. We don't know the value of a plus k over g. Now, the g is what? 40. I'm going to have all over 40. Call this one equation 1. Now, when the cost is 25,000 naira, I'm going to have 25,000 naira equals to a plus k over 50, because when the cost is 25,000 naira, the g is what? The guest is 50. Are you getting it? So call this one equation 2. Now, when you got here, listen, the next step is to subtract equation 2 from equation 1. Are you getting it? So we want to solve this equation simultaneously so that we can get the value of k. Are you getting it? And we can use elimination method by subtracting equation 2 from equation 1. Okay, so I'm going to have 24,000 naira minus 25,000 naira. What's the answer? That is what? Negative 1,000, right? Yes. Minus 1,000 equals to a minus a. That is what? 0, right? Now, k over 40 minus k over 50. Let's do it. K over 40. K over 40 minus k over 50. K over 40 minus k over 50, right? The LCM is what? 40 times 50. That is what? 2,000, right? Yes. So the LCM is 2,000. I'm going to have 2,000. Okay, 2,000 divided by 40. That is what? 50. 50 times k. That is what? 50k minus 2,000 divided by 50. That is what? 40. 40 times minus k. That is what? 40k. So I'm going to have 10k all over 2,000, right? Okay, so here I'm going to have 10k all over 2,000. Okay, I just show you the steps so that we know that we just take the LCM and then, so if you subtract k over 40, k over 50 from k over 40, we're going to have 10k all over 2,000. And you can even reduce it. Okay, you can reduce it. This 0 will cancel this 0. You are left with what? K over 200, right? Do you understand? So I'm going to have minus 1,000 is equals to k over 200. Okay, you can take the cross multiplication. Do you understand? Okay, 200 multiplied by 1,000. That is what? Minus 200,000 equals to k. So the value of k is equals to minus 200,000. Now, having gotten the value of k as negative 200,000, you can proceed to get the value of a by substituting the value of k into any of these equations. Okay, let us use equation 1. Equation 1 is 24,000. 24,000 equals to a plus k over 40. Do you understand? Now, when k is negative 200,000, okay, negative 200,000, I'm going to have 24,000 equals to a plus negative 200,000 all over 40. You understand? Okay, now 200,000 divided by 40, that is 5,000, right? Yes. So I'm going to have 24,000. Sorry, let me write it very well. 24,000 equals to a plus minus 5,000. Do you understand? Let me explain. Let me write it. Let me write this very well. Minus 5,000. So for this, I'm going to have 24,000 is equals to a minus 5,000. Okay. Now, if you want to get the value of a, you take this negative 5,000 to the other side. I'm going to have 24,000 plus 5,000 equals to A. So A equals to 29,000. Okay, so the constant A is equals to 29,000. Now we've gotten the value of the constant as 29,000. To get the equation connecting C and G, just substitute the value of A as 29,000 and the value of K as negative 200,000 into the equation that you are given. Are you getting it? And also, to get the value of C when G is 100, just replace G as 100 in the above equation, okay? So that is how to solve that question. And you can see that from the previous example that we did, that is how we do it. Do you understand? Okay, if you have any question, let me know in the comment section. Let's consider this question on variation. The force E needed to make a machine pull a load is partly constant and partly varies as the load L to be pulled. For a load of 20 kg, the force needed is 14 Newton, while a 20 Newton force is needed for a load of 30 kg. Find A, the formula connecting E and L, B, E when L is 50 kg. Okay, let's interpret the question mathematically. We are told that the force E needed to make a machine pull. Please pay attention. Let us represent the force as F. You understand? The force E needed to make a machine pull a load is partly constant. So F is partly constant. So now, because it is partly constant, we don't know the constant, right? So let us represent the constant as A. You understand? So F equals to A. Don't forget that A is the constant. Now, the F is also the same thing. F is also partly varies as the load L to be pulled. So partly varies as the load L to be pulled. You get what I'm trying to say? F is partly constant. The same F, the force, is also partly varies as the load. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? To watch the complete class, kindly click on the link in the description of this video or the comment section, okay? See you in the next class.